A huge symmetry of ammunition that Russia has terrorized Kharkiv, where since the beginning of the full-scale invasion had appeared in the city. On a site measuring 10,000 square meters, the remains of burned Russian missiles and artillery shells were collected. Its value is currently estimated at more than $100 million.
More than 1,000 of all kinds of fragments were temporarily located in one of the districts of the city. This scrap metal site is unique, they say in the Hague regional prosecutor's office. It is used as a warehouse for evidence of Russian war crimes. Here directly, this is a fragment from a multiple launch rocket system. We see an inscription here. The fuse is inserted. That is, even under such minimal circumstances, the inscriptions on weapon, we can understand the country, the origin of this weapon. It is written in Cyrillic, although Ukraine and Russia use Cyrillic, but Ukrainian markings are carried out in Ukrainian. Almost 90% of what was collected here is the remnants of Smerch, Uragan and Tornado multiple launch rocket systems, with which the Russian invaders fired at Kharkiv citizens every day from July to August. One of the large-scale attacks took place in the center of Kharkiv on September 9th. 14 people were wounded, including 3 children. A school, a kindergarten, shops, a gas station were shelled. Eyewitnesses said that they saw how striking elements of missile flew in.
I turned around and looked out the window like this. It was flashing bright. Well, I don't know, maybe while here it flew, I heard, that's all. I lied down and I couldn't go any further, and I didn't understand what was happening.
There are not so many remnants of cruise missiles in Kharkiv. At the time of the explosion, the ammunition shatters into small fragments, but there are enough of them in the cemetery to understand with what cruelty the enemy fired at a peaceful city. On August 17, 2022, the dormitory was hit by an Iskander cruise missile. 19 people were killed, more than 20 were wounded. Residents of neighboring house told how civilians were killed in front of their eyes.
We even saw how this rocket flew. It flew very low because we live on the 8th floor. We thought it would hit our high-rise building. Well, it didn't fly from Belgrade. We saw how it flew, and this is it. It's just some kind of horror.
All fragments of ammunition are already safe. They are used in Ukrainian courts by prosecutors and investigators, spokesperson of the Kharkiv Regional Prosecutor's Office says. International experts and criminologists also came here in search of evidence that it was the aggressor country that carried out numerous attacks on Kharkiv. Also, this ammunition can be used and will be used in an international criminal court, in the tribunal as an evidence base. All of this will not be necessary to move to the Hague, but I am sure that as samples, examples, certain parts will also be sent to the necessary countries for judicial examinations. As long as the investigation continues, the Russian ammunition cemetery will not be closed. Moreover, there is more than one such location in Kharkiv, and for security reasons, the remnants of other shells, such as S-300 missiles, are stored elsewhere. In total, since the beginning of Russia's military invasion of Ukraine, more than 5,000 criminal proceedings have been initiated in the Kharkiv region for violation the laws and customs of war, the regional prosecutor's office said. Over 8.5 months, more than 1,500 people were killed and more than 2,500 were wounded from the terrorist attacks by the Russian Federation in Kharkiv and the region. Reported by Roman Smoler, Natalia Belokudrya, UATV News.